Hey folks, we're not live. So tonight is usually our Friday night live, 7 Central Time. But tonight we had a birthday party for our grandchildren to go to. Two granddaughters just had a birthday about a week apart, and they decided to have a birthday party combined tonight. So that was going to be from like 6 to 8. So it hit right in our live. And so I decided we were going to cancel. But I decided I was trying to do a little video showing a kind of a garden tour. It started out, I was going to show some things that Lee had done for me lately in my garden, my herb garden, and around, the property. And he's always busy, always working hard. And so I was going to kind of just do an appreciation of what all Lee does around here and things he does for me that sometimes before I even ask, he's taking care of something that I wanted done. So he's just amazing, and I appreciate him. And I know sometimes it don't seem like that because on our lives we'll argue and anyway, so some of the first part of this premiere is going to be me showing you the gardens and showing you what Lee done for me. And then at toward the end, Lee comes in and does a couple of things when he gets home from work. And so he'll be in on this video toward the end. And so we will both be kind of watching, and we'll be on here on this premiere talking to you in the chat. So we're going to be at the birthday party, but they'll be doing a lot of things, and in between eating and just hanging out, we'll watch, and so we'll be in here in just a minute and comment and chat with you live. But we couldn't be here at home going live, and didn't want to try to do that at the birthday party or anything like that. So I'm just showing you pretty much a garden tour. Like I said, it's kind of ended up being a garden tour and an appreciation to all the things that Lee does for me that I can't get to. I do my gardening in my herb garden and keep the house up, but a lot of the heavy things outside, I just can't do. I just don't know how. And so that being said, I guess just like I said, we'll be in here chatting with you. Chat amongst yourselves, and we'll be in some. And what we miss, we will go back and watch so that we can catch all of the comments that were made. We do appreciate you being here and watching with us. We appreciate our subscribers, and especially appreciate our members. I think we have about 23 members on our channel, and we just opened up a 99-cent membership. So if you want to support us, you can do the 99 cents, or you can just watch a lot of our videos. We appreciate that just as much because, because we appreciate you watching our videos and supporting us. And then if you go that step further and be a member on our channel, we try to do some extra things for those folks. And we send out a newsletter once a month. Now, I haven't done the May newsletter. I've done it, but I haven't printed it out. I've had so much going on. My car has broke down. My car broke down, and then my washing machine broke down. And then just this morning, it was real windy here, and 2 trees fell on our house. Thankfully, they didn't do a lot of damage. The one fell out front here on the kind of front part of the house where the screened-in porch is. A big limb. It wasn't a whole tree, but it was a huge limb that size of a tree. fell and took out our digital antenna, but it missed the house. I don't know how. I don't know how it missed the house but took out the digital antenna, but it was right there close, very close. And I was in here cleaning, so when I heard crash, crash, it just scared me to death. But then about maybe 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes later, I heard another big crash on the back side of the house, and that was an old dead tree. The whole tree fell, but it was an old dead tree that Lee was already worried about. But it fell, and it actually missed the house. It just barely clipped the screen on the porch, the screened-in porch. It took the screen out, but somehow missed the house. So thank the Lord that at least there wasn't worse damage there. But my car is still broke down, and my washing machine still broke down. So y'all say a prayer for us, and hopefully that we can get everything fixed and going, and just thank the Lord that it's not worse, you know. So here we go. Y'all watch this video, this premiere that I've put together, and Lee will be on it. So hang on, and you'll see Lee a little later. And we really appreciate you watching with us. And we will be back on next week, next Friday night live. So here you go. Watch that video. Hey y'all, it's a beautiful day out here, and I am headed to the herb garden. Gonna take you with me for a little bit, show you a few things that we've got going on, and show you a few things that Lee done for me. So he's been busy, working hard. I've been planting in my herb garden. He's been doing the major hard labor, but that's the way it is. So he's a pretty good fella. He will do things for me sometimes before I even ask, and he knows that I need it done. So here we go. Let's show you a few things that Lee has done for me. Show you my herb garden. And if you see these pesky little gnats in my face, it is because this time of year, until it gets warmer, it's kind of a mild right now. And early spring, when it's still mild out here, we have started just in the last 3 or 4 years of getting these gray gnats. I think they're also called buffalo gnats. We used to not have them. And we started getting them about 3 or 4 years ago. And just for about 2 or 3 weeks in the spring, they will fly in your face. And they are so annoying. But so I sprayed on some repellent, and hope that works, and we'll see. So if you see them flying in my face, that's why. All right, here we go. All right, so the first thing I want to show you, I showed this on the last garden tour video also, but I'm going to show it once more because I love this spot. We have a little sitting area in our front yard here. It's in our front yard meets the pasture there where the horse stays. And so we created a little fire pit sitting area, and I got my new umbrella that one of my kids got me for Mother's Day up. And so the old umbrella, I'll show you in a minute where the old umbrella went. We've got a couple of tiki torches and some flowers, and it's just a nice little sitting area there. So there you go. I've got some herbs and some flowers set up in that space. All right, on to the herb garden. On the way to the herb garden, I'll show you one of my tomato plants. This is that little volunteer tomato that came up. All of my tomato plants are doing really good, the ones I started in the greenhouse. And didn't buy any this year at all. I haven't bought a plant one. Everything's been what I raised from seeds in the greenhouse. But that one was a volunteer, and it's doing really good. I like to just put tomato plants or pepper plants just here and there all over the property. And then I plant some in the garden also. That way, if one gets a tomato hornworm, maybe they won't all get it. So, and that has happened. I've had that happen. I've had maybe a hornworm, tomato worm, get on one plant, but not the rest of them, or get on a couple of plants, but not the rest of them. So that's kind of worked well, so that they're not all right there together and getting them all over all of them. Another thing on the way to the herb garden is my greenhouse has been invaded by kittens, and I have to leave the door open because it's getting too hot in there, but they want to stay in my greenhouse, so I have to get them out there and find them a new place to go. But right now, that's where their mama has them. And so they need to come out of there. We're going to have to catch them and move them soon because it's just getting way too hot in there. And I've got most everything out of there except a few plants. So they've got to come out too. Oh, look, there's one over there planted. There's one planted over there. Hey, kitty. 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 Kitty, yeah, are you planted? Okay, over to the herb garden. Here is my herb garden. Now, of course, I call it a herb garden, but it's got way more than herbs in it. I've got tomato plants. I've had this beautiful lettuce and kale in here. Some of that needs to come out that is bolting, but that is echinacea, garlic, dill, thyme, and on the end down there and kind of scattered throughout is lettuce and kale, and there was some bok choy. It's already bolted. I need to get all that out of there, all that lettuce and bok choy and kale, because it's starting to bolt, and I can feed some to the chickens and put the rest in the compost pile. And so here's another one. This is the same thing. It's mostly lettuce and kale. And right in the middle there, I've got some chamomile. So the chamomile will stay, and there's one tomato plant in there. No, actually there's two tomato plants in the chamomile. That will stay, and I'll have to get the rest of that out of there soon. And the next one has a lot of marigolds, a few tomatoes, some holy basil, and on the end down there is my spinach. I'm fixing to cut all that spinach and put in the freezer for green smoothies. And then on my arbor here is my scarlet runner bean is doing great. I don't know if you can tell, but it's grown all the way to the top on this side and almost to the top on that side. It's doing great. So there you go. There's a nasturtium in there, and lots of marigold to help with pests, hopefully. All right, and then this one, the fourth one, has a couple tomato plants, some ashwagandha, some yarrow on the end down there. Everything's doing so good. I love these raised beds. And of course I've got, now there's some weeds in this one because I put the rabbit poop in this one, and I scooped, Lee says I scooped too deep and got some grass. So I've got to get in there and weed some spots out where the grass grew up in the rabbit poo. So yeah, I've got to do some work on this one. But that tomato plant's doing really good in there. And I put also marigold and nasturtium to hopefully keep down the bugs. Now, the bugs are loving whatever it is. I'm not sure what it is, but something is eating up that ashwagandha. So something really likes ashwagandha. That might have been a bad idea. May have to put that in a pot. But here's my sitting area for my herb garden. So there's the old umbrella. I put up the new umbrella over the sitting area out front, and I brought the old umbrella out here to my herb garden, and Lee set that up for me yesterday. He put a pole in the ground and drove it down in the ground and then stuck the umbrella right in the pole. So that is working really, really well. The other umbrella over there has an actual stand, but this is a makeshift stand that Lee made by driving some kind of hollow pole that he drove in the ground and then stuck the umbrella in it. And that worked well. So my mint is back behind my seating, my bench there. And what we've decided to do, I think he has decided to get more gravel and bring gravel on down here where these pavers are. He was gonna dig and bury those pavers, but we've about decided to just get more gravel and put down through here around the pavers. And thinking that that will be a nicer area and maybe easier for him to just put the gravel out there than dig each one down. But there you go. There's my nice little sitting area for my herb garden. I'm excited about that. And there's 2 more beds here. We're going to go on in. So I've planted some new stuff in here, as you can tell. That is 2 holy basils, and my roselle's doing great. I planted like 6 roselles and only one of them come up, so I hate that, but at least one of them's doing good. I planted a bunch of little, I didn't mean to have that many, so I'm going to have a huge spot here of sage. I didn't mean to start that many, but you know, I get out of hand because I think they're not going to come up, and then I plant a whole bunch of them, and then they all come up, and I've got too many. This tomato plant is doing great. That is the Dr. Waukee yellow Dr. Waukee tomato. I've got some nasturtiums and marigolds all through my whole gardens to try to keep down the pests. There's some lemon balm in there, and the moringa. I stuck my moringa in here yesterday, and it's doing good. It was in a pot, and I decided to stick it out here, hoping it'll do better. I mean, it's doing okay, but I'm hoping it'll do better out here. There's my Black Beauty tomato plant. It's doing great. I'm excited about that. I've never had one of those. So, fixing to grow on this little arbor is my Kajari melon. I've got 4 of those, 2 on each side. I think they're doing great. Here's this one. He's doing good. I need to get him trained up to that. And oregano with more marigold. There's another tomato. And then, this might have been a mistake, but I'm going to have to keep it cut back, is the comfrey I put in here. I will have to keep that cut back. So I probably need to do that today. And then this is catnip. And I'm probably going to have to cut that back because it's really getting bigger than I thought it would. So, another tomato plant. That's another Black Beauty. It's not as big as that one over there. Maybe this is shading it a little bit, so I may have to cut that back. And, of course, Lee's strawberries. And they're doing good. Now, I'll go show you. There's another nasturtium, marigolds. A lot of these are the giant marigolds that Bub at Getting Started on Homesteading gave me a couple of years ago, and they're doing good. That oregano is right in there. I hope that don't hide that oregano. So that's it. It's looking great. I've got a few pots over here of stuff I need to plant. I've got some poblano peppers that need to go in the ground. I've got some more, this is the lemon cucumber. Lana gave me some lemon cucumber, and that's 2 of them. I've got 3 more. We're going to run on a cattle panel. More basil. I've got basil everywhere. And then I've got a few things over here that did not like the full sun. There's my water sprinkler. I move it over there when I need it. But right here, this is plants that did not like the full sun, so I moved them over here on a little pallet. And hopefully they'll do better over here, except the basil. Basil does good everywhere, but I just stuck another one over here. But some of that stuff didn't like the full sun. And that ashwagandha, I knew the other ones were getting ate by bugs. So I took one of them and put over here, and they're not eating it up like they are those others. So there you go. Anyway, now I'll show you what Lee done for me. Besides the umbrella and everything else he does, he moved my compost all down here. Now that is a pile of compost that we bought, but we had it up at the front of the property, and he moved me a big old pile of it back here so it would be by my herb garden and close to my greenhouse, so it'd be easier to get to. And then what the dog is in, we are fixing to put, get out of there. Lee moved my compost down here. I had a compost pile up there by where where the rabbits are, but it was real shaded, and the chickens kept getting in it and scattering it everywhere. And he made me one here. Now, it doesn't get morning sun, but it gets sun as soon as noon and on. It gets full sun. So we'll see how that does. But this is fresh, new, just started. And what I done, I threw some compost in there, or some scraps in there. And then I threw some of this compost on top of it to get it going, because we don't have any leaves raked up right now. We've got some out back behind the house that we can rake up and put in here, but we just haven't done that yet. He just got this built a couple of days ago, so it's not got much in it yet. And I have been dumping the scraps in here, and what he's going to do is put a front on this. So right there where it leans out, he's going to put a front piece so the chickens and the dogs can't get in it. And it's going to be a movable one so that we can take this front panel that he's going to make. It's going to be movable, so we can take it off and get in there to turn it and stuff like that. But it'll be put on there so that the chickens and dogs don't bother it. So I thought that was pretty neat. He done a great job on that. And anyway, there you go. That's what Lee's been working on, and he works hard. And then he's also got the big garden up there that he's been working on that's looking good. I guess I could go up and show that. Get out of there. Out. Anyway, I'm going to throw all of that lettuce. I'm going to cut my bolted lettuce and give some to the rabbits and the chickens, and then put the rest in here. So that'll help fill that up a little. Anyway, there you go. There's my herb garden, and it is looking wonderful. And Lee has just done an amazing job for me on a lot of this stuff that I can't really do by myself. So there you go. Now I'll run up and show you Lee's garden real quick. We'll just make this a garden tour. Okay, here's Lee's tilled garden. I just want to show real quick how good these blueberries are doing. I showed them in the last garden tour, and I talked about how a couple of them, one of them got bit off and the other one got weed-eated, and they have sprung back and doing great, so we're proud of that. And then his gooseberries. There's the one, it's doing good, but look at this one. This is Lee's gooseberries. Look there. Doing great. So then he's got sunflowers. This is the black oil sunflowers on this side. They're doing good. He's got a row there of peanuts that needs weeding. So he has tilled in between the rows, but he needs to get in there with a hoe and weed his peanuts better. And then okra. We've got 2 rows of okra because we absolutely love okra. And we eat it raw. Yes, raw okra. Love it. And just You can eat it raw, or you can eat it raw and dip it in ranch dressing or something. But we've also learned to can okra, and I learned that from Amy over at Broussard Homestead, and I might do a video on that this year. So anyway, the canned okra is done to where you can fry it, and it's really, really good, super good. We love it, so we planted 2 rows this year. My other tomato plants are up here. So I've got 5 tomato plants up here. On the other side of that is more okra. This is green beans. Like I said, he needs to weed in the row. He has tilled on the outside of it, but he needs to go through with a hoe and weed in the row. Potatoes, onions. This is where we had radishes, but it's all done and spent, and he just hasn't got the rest of that up yet. Those panels down through there have cucumbers and more Kajari melon, and then watermelon, and then on the end down there is regular sunflowers. Regular big pretty sunflowers. We've had some beautiful sunflowers, and we usually have them way down on the other side over there, but we decided to put them way over here by the drive and the road so you can see them better from the road and the driveway. So there you go. And in the last garden tour, I showed our fruit trees and things. I'm not going to go back through all of that. I really was just showing what Lee done for me with my umbrella and my compost, and show you my herb garden again. But so I'm not going to go back through everything, and maybe I will in 2 or 3 weeks. I might go back through and show how good everything's growing. But mostly I want it to just be proud of my herb garden and what all Lee has done for me with my herb garden and my compost bins and everything. He has worked really hard, and he works a full 40-hour-week job, usually more than 40 hours. Right now he's not, but in the spring and the fall he has longer hours, especially the fall. In the fall he really works till dark, or even later than dark, you know. When they're harvesting, he really has long hours then. And so then it's hard to get everything done around here. So I work 3 days a week, and then Thursday is my day to get my stuff done around here. Then Friday I have to run errands and pay bills and things like that. So then Saturday we both get in here together and try to get things done. And then Sunday we go to church and morning, and I go to church in the afternoon. So there's not a lot of time on Sunday. So we really don't have a whole bunch of time that we get to spend on all this. So without Lee just busting his butt, I would never get it all done. So saying that, I'm going to pause right here and say to my husband, thank you so much for all that you do for me. And Lee is just a hard worker, and he's a good guy, and he's a fun-loving guy. Sometimes his fun-loving gets a little aggravating, as you can see on our Friday night lives. So there you go. I'm fixing to get busy and get in here and weed some and cut down some of that bolting lettuce and get this done. So I'm making headway. This is a mess I'm taking in for me, but you can see I'm making a lot of headway down through there. This is the mess that's going to the rabbits and the compost, and it looks like a lot of good green there, but the snails, slugs, and snails were starting to eat that up. So there's my first bed that is done. Now, I did leave the cabbage down there in case the cabbage might go ahead and finish heading. The rest is my herbs. Woo, I done worked up a sweat, y'all. When I first come out here, it was cool. It was morning. If you get out early in the morning and get started, of course, it's cooler and you can get more done. Now it's done got hot. It's about 11 o'clock now, and it's done got hot. There's a little breeze blowing, so it's not horrible, but it's just bad enough that I started sweating good. And so I had to go with my frog. And if you don't know what a frog is, there's different brands now, but when I first got this one, I think frog was only, actually my daughter first got me one, and then I liked it so much I went and got Lee one. And then at that time, it was frog. Oop, there he is. Frog Tog Chili Pad. They got small ones and large ones. I think they have them bigger than this now. But you just get it wet and it stays cool, and it really, really helps. Now they've got different brands now that are probably cheaper. This one wasn't real cheap when it was first come out. But now they've made, you know, cheaper and different brands. So let us know what you've got. Do you have one, and what brand do you have? And if you don't have one, what do you do? Just a towel, misters. Somebody have misters. They mist water on themselves. Some people just get out. We've got a biting fly. Ooh, Lordy, I hate these biting flies. Not only do we got the gnats, now it's the biting flies. But this breeze helps keep those off too. Somewhat. Yeah, let us know what you've got, what brand you've got, or what you do to keep cool when it's starting to get hot. I was going to say some people just get out in the morning and the evening and don't get out in the heat of the day working. So let us know what you do. Anyway, I'm glad to have this umbrella too. That is going to help a whole lot. And my bench, I can sit here on my bench under my umbrella with my frog and cool down. So anyway, so I'll go ahead and say right now, obviously, you know by now, the reason you're watching this is because we are at a birthday party. So I'm gonna make this a premiere. I just decided to make this a premiere instead of just a video, so that we can watch people comment. And I kind of like the premieres sometimes for certain occasions, especially when we were supposed to go live but couldn't. So making this a premiere, I've done this once before when I had to go to St. Louis, and I made a video, and then while I was in St. Louis I could watch it and comment. And obviously, you know by now, we're doing the same thing here tonight. So thank you for watching. If you've stuck with us this far, thank you. Also, don't forget, I'm doing a sticker board. So if you have stickers for your channel, send me a sticker and you will be on our sticker board, and I show that every once in a while. Hey, so I'm gonna show you something I almost forgot I had, y'all. I'm up here in this bed that needed weeding good because of the rabbit poop I put in here. So I went and got a tool that Buddy from used to be Gemini Homestead. Buddy now is on Miss Lippy. I know all of y'all know Miss Lippy's channel. Buddy, he gave me this little child's garden hoe. And at the time, Lee had just put in my first raised bed, and Buddy gave me this and said it'd be easy to get in the raised beds with. Oh, and I about forgot I had it. And I just now thought of it because I was in here trying to weed out of this bed and thought of it. And oh my goodness, thank you so much, Buddy. This works great. It will reach almost all the way across. Actually, it will reach all the way across. And I can just chop at them weeds just a little bit. I know Lee says don't chop, but I'm a chopper. But I can get those kind of chopped out of that rabbit poop, and then just reach down and pick those up. So this works great. So thank you, Buddy, for the little child's garden hoe. All right, y'all, that's it. I'm done. I just want to show you the finished up Most all of that's out of there. All the weeds are out. All the weeds are out. I did leave some cabbage and a couple of bok choys and that little Swiss chard. I wish I had more of that. It's beautiful. That little Swiss chard on the end. Rest of that is marigolds, my thyme, all of that stuff is good stuff, except that cabbage down there. I'm going to leave that just a little bit longer, but it's probably not going to do anymore. I left some kale at the end of that one, but it's all cleaned out. There's my nice chamomile, some tomatoes, some more of the marigolds. That is a Malabar spinach. I left a bok choy because it wasn't too bad. Anyway, you can see I got most all of it out. I left that spinach because I'm going to get that out and freeze it. So I'll come back out with a bag and get all that in a little bit. It's getting pretty hot out here. It's 11:30, getting pretty hot. So I'm going to go in for a little bit, but I've got all the weeds out, all the lettuce out that I wanted out. Well, I got all the lettuce out. Anyway, marigolds, holy basil, you know, you've seen it earlier. Here's all the weeds are out of that. Everything that's left in there is what I want in there. And then these weren't bad. I didn't put any rabbit poop on these two down here, so I really didn't have to weed them. I think I got 3 weeds out of that whole bed. I should not have done the rabbit poop like I did, so definitely a learning lesson there. This one I did not put any rabbit poop on. Had 3 little weeds in it. And it's doing great. And then this one, same thing. I didn't put any rabbit poop on it. And there was like no weeds in it. So those 2 are doing wonderful. The rest is doing good. I just had to weed some. So now I got to get these pepper plants in. And rest of that stuff there. But there you go. That's my finished product for the day. So Lee's home. He's fixing me a little panel for my lemon cucumber out here. Just a little temporary panel for just this year. That won't stay there. So that's why he's just sticking it up like that so I can put those lemon cucumbers down there at the bottom of it and let them climb all over that. And then we'll take that up this fall because he's going to expand his, there we go, his strawberries. He's going to expand his strawberries a little later on, probably this fall. So then we'll take this panel down. So there you go. Lee's back at work again. Just got off work. Just got off work and now he's working again. That's what he does.
Driving from work to work.
Say that again.
The only rest I get is driving from work to work.
He's only gets rest when he's driving. Well,
that ain't really rest either, because that's what I do all day long is drive.
Well, yeah, that's what you do all day long is drive. There you go. You're getting rest at work.
Yeah.
And coming home and work. Come home and work.
That's the reason why at the end of a vacation, I'm kind of glad to get back to work.
Oh.
Yeah, these strawberries got to be picked.
Yep, they need to be picked. I need to get a bowl. I just didn't get all mine done. I got most of it done, but I still need it to cut out some of that, cut down that comfrey.
They're hard to work for you.
Yep, that'll work. I don't care. It's temporary anyway.
It's temporary.
Just for a little while.
It's
then we'll take it down, so that's all right. So, now we got that winter squash that I started that I thought was yellow squash. It said Delica squash, and I thought it would be a yellow squash, but after it started coming up, And Lee said something about it. Lee said, don't you remember we looked that up before and it wasn't yellow squash? So I looked it up again and it's not. It's a winter squash. Supposed to be real sweet. A real sweet winter squash. Kind of, I guess, pumpkin-y or something. Or you know, kind of butternut squash type thing. So we're going to plant it. And 3 of them came up. I had 3 of them. So he's going to till me up another spot up by the garden to put that in. Because I don't want to crowd anything like that in these. And I didn't want to crowd these cucumbers in here. So that's why he was making that for me. So I think we're fixing to get a little rain. And I'm glad. Because I got that all weeded and ready and planted a few things. So now I need a good rain on it. And I think we're going to get it here in a little bit. But it's cooling down. It feels so good out here. It's cooling down and breeze blowing. And oh, it feels so good. So we'll see what else Lee's fixing to get up to. Okay, now Lee is making me a little bed. We had Cherokee Tam pumpkins and what else up here last year? Cucumbers and Cherokee Tam pumpkins. So he's putting some of our compost that we bought in here and gonna till it in good and make a good spot for my cucumbers and my winter squash. So we're going to put some cucumbers on one side, some winter squash on the other side. I might end up putting some Cherokee Tam pumpkin back in here. I don't know, but I've got this Delica, whatever it's called, Delica squash that I started. So I'm going to put that here and probably a panel of another cattle panel for cucumbers. And so that's it. We are about done. And we have finally made a big old dent in that compost we bought. We bought that whole big truckload of compost we showed back a while back. Early spring, and it was a huge pile, and we've used it and filled all them 6 beds, and now he's done some wagon loads here, and I've used it.
Moved you a big old pile.
Moved a big pile back there, yeah.
Compost.
Yeah, there's still a pile back there, but that's the big pile that we had.
I'm tired of shoveling it.
I'm tired of shoveling it. Oh me. Whew. Anyway, there you go.
Tractor sure would be nice. But...
Tractor, yeah, we don't have a tractor. We do with what we got. We can't afford a tractor, so we make do with what we got.
They used to not have none on homesteading.
We do it the hard way, I guess. Oh.
It's hard work to get me out of the house.
Whatever.
I love being outside.
Yeah, you love being outside. Got to give you that. That's for sure. I love being outside till these dang flies bite and gnats get in your face. And it's nice right now, though. There's a cool breeze blowing. It feels good.
Only like sour stuff.
Whatever.
That's why they don't bother me.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend I'm sweet, so.
I'm too sweet.
You're too sweet. I ain't going to pretend I'm sweet.
They on the keto diet this year.
Anyway, all right. There we go. So, thank you for watching. And thank you if you stuck with us this whole time. So, we appreciate you. Have a good rest of the night. And, whew, I'm tired. So, y'all give us a thumbs up. And be sure you're subscribed. And keep watching us. We will be doing some foraging here pretty soon. And you'll want to see that. So thank you all and have a good night.